Okay, so let's first start with the discussion about what is there in the CFA course. I hope you are brought the notebooks, okay? Because I'll be asking you to write something. So the full form of CFA, I think you will be aware, is Chartered Financial Analyst. Okay, so we are going to be spending the time across the three levels on financial statement analysis. Why I'm specifying, why I'm like putting the emphasis on the word analysis is because financial statement में दो और चीज होता है. There are two more things which is done in the financial statements. One is making of them, called as making of financial statements, which is in commonly called as accounting or bookkeeping. Okay, so the role of an accountant is to use tally. Take a look at all the transactions, what is happening on a daily basis. कि electricity का bill pay किया, raw materials का payment किया, salary payment किया, etc. 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 Okay, and that is being put into the tally, and based on that, he is making the financial statements. He is called as accountant. Okay, second one is what you're doing, which is basically called as auditing, where you will be verifying the statements which are being made by someone else. Okay, so one guy would be making the statements, that he is called as accountant. Second guy would be verifying the statements कि इसमें कुछ errors है या सब कुछ सही है. That is he is called as auditor. And next comes we guys. Okay, we are going to be financial statement analyzer or financial statement analyst. There are three financial statements to be specific: income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. जिनको नहीं पता उनके लिए मैंने बोला income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. We will do the analysis. What does that mean in simple terms? We will calculate certain ratios, and based on the ratios, we will submit a report to one of the two guys. Two people will be interested in the analysis that we are doing. One would be the investors, and second would be the lenders. Okay, lenders को interest होगा कि let's say her company is good or bad. If I say that her company is good, I am a financial analyst, say that her company is good, then lender will consider lending the money. Okay, who am I in this case? I am a rating analyst. My role is to see the financial statements of our company, income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, calculate certain ratios, and based on that, if I find that her company is a genuine company, her company is a good company, her company will not default, or at least chances of defaults are lesser, I will give her AAA rating. Okay. If I believe no, her company is really bad, her company might default, significant chances of default are there. So in that case, I will give her company a rating something like C. Clear? So basically, I am Crisil, I am Care, or I am Ikra in this case. What I'll be looking at her is financial statement of her company. Based on that, calculate certain ratios, and based on that, judge whether the company is credit worthy or credit not worthy. Credit worthy means AAA, AA kind of rating, and credit not worthy means something like C kind of a rating. This report I will send it to the lenders. Lenders will see, oh, C rating, no, I will not lend. Or lenders see AAA rating, oh, okay, so good rating, so we'll consider lending. Okay, so this is basically rating analyst, which is helping the lenders. Okay. Second one, investors. इस केस में थोड़ा जॉब और ज्यादा डेप्थ में जाता है, बिकॉज इन्वेस्टर्स को एक फिक्स रेट ऑफ रिटर्न नहीं मिलता. लेंडर्स विल गेट अ फिक्स इंटरेस्ट रेट. कंपनी अच्छा चले आगे जाके या खराब चले, मुझे तो फिक्स इंटरेस्ट मिलने वाला है. बट इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. इन्वेस्टर्स आर लुकिंग फॉर कितना रिटर्न मिलेगा, which depends on dividend, and second one, share price कितना increase होगा, and both these things depends on the profitability in the future. What is profitability right now? We will analyze that, and based on that, we will also look at her company's business model. You know what is business model, right? B2B, business to business करिए या business to consumers करिए, B2C करिए. Apart from that, which industry she is operating, regulation कैसे है उस industry में, competitors कौन है, Porter's 5 मुझे सुना है. ये लिखो Porter's 5 process. लिखो just write down heading. When you go home, you should be googling about this Porter's 5 process. We will do industry analysis जिसमें ये Porter's 5 process will be doing it. We will also do something called as corporate governance analysis, and based on all this, we will judge कि next 5 years में sales will grow या sales will shrink, profits will grow या profits will shrink, and importantly, share price will increase or share price will be going down in the next 5 years. This is called as fundamental analysis, which is done for a longer period of time, which is what investors are keen in. Traders don't do this. Traders do technical analysis, which I'll come to it in a while. Okay, so if I am basically a fundamental analyst, I'll be looking at same financial statement, income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. But I'll not stop there. Like if I'm a rating analyst, I'll just look at financial statements, calculate ratio, and based on that, give AAA, AA, A kind of a rating. But if I am a equity analyst, called as fundamental analyst, I'll start with the financial statement analysis and then go ahead by doing the industry analysis, quarter 5 courses. Also, I'll be looking at the business model and based on corporate governance, मतलब company का CEO कौन है, company का CFO कौन है, who is the chairperson of the company, etc., etc., and conclude in the next 5 years, will sales grow? If yes, at what rate? Will profits grow? And importantly, will the share price grow or not? And based on that, I'll submit my report, which is called as a research report, to the investors, and then investors will decide to invest or not to invest. You understood over here, the role is more in depth compared to the rating analyst, and hence this is also higher. Compared to the rating analyst, the research analyst will get a higher package because over there they have to do more in-depth research. Okay, so let's take a note of just like put up some diagrams. I'm also recording so that in case you require later on, so recording will be available. Actually, I don't bring the camera because आज तुम लोग के lectures के पहले there was a normal lecture because today is a public holiday. इसलिए I brought the camera, so I thought I'll do a recording also. Okay, so just put it like this. At the center, you mention financial statement analysis or FSA or financial statement analysis, which consists of income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. Then by two guys, rating analyst and research analyst. He'll come out with the ratings like AAA, AA, C, etc. And the companies are CRISIL. This is not CRISIL, CARE, ICRA. Over here, apart from income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, we'll also look at the business model of the company. We'll be also looking at industry, something called as corporate governance of the company, and we'll see कि sales क्या rate से grow होगा, profit क्या rate से grow होगा, and importantly share price क्या rate से grow होगा. And in terms of package, which I said, the money that you get over here is higher than the money that you get over here. The package यहाँ पे थोड़ा कम है, यहाँ पे package is little bit more. They have not yet gone into like the role that she is doing and basically what are the various types of role in each of these profiles, which I'll talk about it in a while. But basically, as of now, I just talked about कि financial statements क्यों analyze करते हैं, like the full form chartered financial analyst. Why do you require to analyze a financial statement? That's what I'm covering right. Because the lights is fine. Alright, so let's come to the next concept. Like basically, कि subjects क्या है? कि what is the curriculum about? So run curriculum of CFA. So first part, it's not like group wise they are covered it. Like exam point of view group nahi hai, but logically there are groups. So the first group of subjects is all investment related subjects. So that the first group subjects, all investment related subjects will be coming over. The main two forms of investments that are being there in the world since long time are two: shares and FDs. So write on shares and FDs. Who invest in shares and who invest in FD? Shares में कौन invest करता है? The one जिसका risk appetite काफी ज्यादा है. And FD में कौन invest करता है जिसका risk appetite कम है. For example, a 20-year guy who had just started earning, just graduated and started earning, he will invest his first salary into shares, provided he does not have any kind of financial responsibility. For example, let me explain. Suppose if I have just graduated and started earning, but let's say my mom, dad are retired, my grandparents are alive and they are bedridden, and family responsibility is on me. In that case, I will not have risk-taking capacity. I cannot invest my money into shares and agar loss ho gaya to then my my role in the family will, I mean, I will not be able to contribute to the family much in that case. So in that case, my risk capacity would be lower. My risk taking capacity is lower, so I'll prefer to invest into FDs. But generally, overall, out of 100 guys who are just graduating and starting their work, most of them will not be in this category. Most of them will have the parents who are still working. So they will not have a lot of financial responsibilities. And as a reason, their risk-taking capacity would be higher. So they will prefer to invest in shares. Clear? On the other hand, 65 years guys who are retired, if you are a government retired, then you will get a pension. But most of the people are private retired, so they don't have a pension. They are completely dependent on the portfolio, and hence they will prefer to invest into FDs because they want a stable source of income. Shares में ऊपर गया price नीचे गया, so they will have a volatility, so they will not give a steady source of income. So 65 years plus, which is retired guys who are dependent on the portfolio, they will prefer to invest into FDs for getting that stable interest income. And those who are just started to work right now, who don't have much financial responsibilities, who have higher risk taking capacity, they'll prefer to invest in shares. Okay, so just mentioned shares के बाजू में preferred by young guys who are having higher risk taking capacity. Let's make a quick note, sir. I'll anyways give you recording later on. Preferred by those guys, shares preferred by those guys who are having a higher risk taking capacity, and FD is preferred by retired guys whose risk taking capacity is lower. Next point, which is the next investment? Shares हो गया, FD हो गया. Next investment क्या है? Alternative. मतलब वो तो बहुत complicated term हो गया. Like simple term, real estate. Okay, the major, I'm looking from Indian perspective, majority of the Indian investors either have real estate in their portfolio or want to have real estate in their portfolio. So the next one is real estate, which we call it like flats बोलो या फिर agricultural land बोलो. So that is real estate. The main problem with the real estate is बहुत सारे problem है. एक प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मिनिमम रिक्वायर्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट बहुत ज्यादा होता है. द मिनिमम रिक्वायर्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट इज लाइक वेरी 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 ह्यूज. सेकंड, इसमें लिस्टेड नहीं मिलता आपको. शेयर्स आर लिस्टेड बट रियल एस्टेट इज नॉट लिस्टेड. तो उसमें इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू फिगर आउट कि मैं क्या बाय करूं, या फिर अगर मेरे पास प्रॉपर्टी है सेल करने के लिए, टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू सेल. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज इलिक्विडिटी. ओके, दिस कंसेप्ट इज कॉल्ड एज कंसेप्ट ऑफ इलिक्विडिटी. ओके, नेक्स्ट और एक प्रॉब्लम है उसमें, देयर आर सिग्निफिकेंट ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट. मतलब अगर अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रॉपर्टी बाय करो तो जीएसटी लगेगा, अदरवाइज स्टैंप ड्यूटी तो लगेगा ही. अपार्ट फ्रॉम ब्रोकरेज कमीशन 1% लगता है. सो सिग्निफिकेंट ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट. ओके, दीस आर द प्रॉब्लम्स विद द रियल एस्टेट. टेक अ नोट. रियल एस्टेट इलिक्विडिटी समझेगा क्या है बाद में. यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज इट इलिक्विडिटी. मतलब you तो पक्का विल अंडरस्टैंड बिकॉज़ यू नो इन दिस मार्केट. अदर्स विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज इलिक्विडिटी. बाइंग एंड सेलिंग इज गोना टेक टाइम बिकॉज देयर इज नो लिस्टेड. सो बाय करने के लिए भी मुझे फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा कि कौन से डेवलपर से बाय करूं, या फिर सेकंड हैंड बाय कर रहा हूं तो कौन से सेलर से बाय करूं. सो दिस बाइंग एंड सेलिंग व्हिच इज टेकिंग लॉट ऑफ टाइम इज कॉल्ड एज illiquidity. सेकंड वन, ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट आर हायर. राइट डाउन ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट हायर. अंधेरा लग रहा है. मैं एंड थर्ड वन, मिनिमम रिक्वायर्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट कुड बी लाख्स एंड मुंबई में तो करोड़ बोल सकते हैं. मिनिमम रिक्वायर्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट इज इन करोड़. सिट इन द मिडिल वन. What's your name? Ramesh. Yeah, मैंने मेरे बैकग्राउंड, एजुकेशन बैकग्राउंड, वर्क बैकग्राउंड if you want. I'm in 11. 11, okay. FIGC, तुम लोग को CFA पता कैसे चला 11th स्टैंडर्ड में? सॉरी, 11th स्टैंडर्ड में यू आर जस्ट 11th स्टैंडर्ड का एग्जाम चल रहा है ना अभी, ये डन हो गया 11th स्टैंडर्ड का एग्जाम. ओके, where was I? Sorry, I was just discussing what are the various investments. We covered shares and the FDs, and we are covering the real estate. That is the properties. So properties buy करने में what are the problems that we are discussing? The one is huge amount required. Like shares में you can invest 1,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees, but properties में you have to invest crores. Second one, it takes a lot of time to figure out which properties to buy, which is called as illiquidity. And third one is the transaction cost. Okay. Next one, कौन सा investment कर सकते हो आप? Shares, FDs, real estate, gold. Okay, gold. Next one is gold. Gold, silver, etc. Not just gold, gold, silver, which is called as commodities, by the way. गोल्ड का रोल क्या है पोर्टफोलियो में? द मेन रोल ऑफ द गोल्ड, ऐसा लगता है कि काफी अच्छा रिटर्न देता है क्योंकि अभी 90,000 के आसपास जा रहा है, बट इट हैज बीन सीन कि गोल्ड इज नॉट अ रिटर्न बूस्टर. When you add gold in your portfolio, it does not kind of shine your portfolio. Unlike what is a real thing, if gold shines, it does not shine in the portfolio. See what happens. The problem is ना कि गोल्ड जब प्राइस ऊपर जाता है ना तब न्यूज़पेपर में आता है, बट गोल्ड का प्राइस जब स्टेबल होता है या गोल्ड का प्राइस नीचे जाता है तभी न्यूज़पेपर में आता नहीं है. So what happens is when you hear about gold, you feel like, oh, gold is going up, so I should have it in the portfolio. But many people have gold in their portfolio, but it has not given the fantastic return. But still, gold is important from the portfolio because it is something called as it diversifies your portfolio. What do you mean diversifies? जब शेयर मार्केट, अभी भी देखो शेयर मार्केट लास्ट 6-7 months में इट इज क्रैशिंग नहीं बोल सकता, इट्स गोइंग डाउन, करेक्टिंग बोलो व्हाटएवर, 10-15% is down from its peak, almost 20% down from its peak. 26,000 था, अभी अराउंड 22,600-500 के आसपास है. Okay, it's 20% down from its peak, roughly around. But during this time, gold has gone up. So basically, what happens is when overall markets are down, at that time gold goes up, and that is basically called as the concept of diversification. कि अगर आपने थोड़ा पैसा गोल्ड में डाला तो जब मार्केट नीचे जाके आपको लॉस देगा तब गोल्ड will be able to give you a little bit profit which could cover up these losses. So take a note, gold is a diversifier rather than a return booster. Gold diversifies the risk of the portfolio rather than boosting the returns of the portfolio. एक बहुत बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट हमने मिस कर दिया and that is derivatives, futures and options. In India we call it like that. So next one, derivatives, also called as FNO, futures and options in India. डेरिवेटिव ना जिस पर्पस के लिए लॉन्च किया था और जो पर्पस के लिए यूज हो रहा है, जमीन आसमान का डिफरेंस है. Derivatives, it was launched from the perspective of risk management. For example, एक एग्जांपल की बात करता हूँ. For example, let's say I'm having 10 American students who are going to give me the fees in dollars. So the risk that I possess कि मुझे तो डॉलर्स मिलने वाला है, I'm going to receive dollar. What if dollar crashes? For example, let's say I'm going to receive $1,000. 90 रुपीज पकड़ लो, $1,000 into 90,000 रुपीज मुझे मिलने वाला है. बट सपोज डॉलर 90 का 70 हो गया तो मतलब $1,000 का इंटू 90 की जगह $1,000 into 70. So what if the dollar goes down? That's the risk that I'm having. So to manage this risk, I will use certain tools which are in the derivatives called as call option, put option, futures, etc. The main role of derivatives is to manage the risk. That is called as HEDG, hedging. All right. So take a note. Derivatives. Main role of the derivative, main role of the derivatives in your portfolio is hedging, which is called as risk management. But unfortunately, it is being used by the traders not as a risk management tool, but like a lottery. मैं तो lottery से भी ज़्यादा जाऊँगा, like a सट्टा. Okay, so basically like gambling. Okay, so basically it can magnify your returns. जैसे 1,000 का 1 लाख होता है, but 0.1% of the times होता है. But that 0.1% kind of like it's so glorified कि okay, zero versus hero strategy. So basically many people have used derivatives and lost money because they have used derivatives not for the purpose of risk management, but for the purpose of taking risk, betting money, gambling money, and that's called as speculation. So that is speculation. मतलब gambling. The meaning of the word speculation is basically gambling. अच्छा, by the way, derivatives में है क्या? Just write down. Like किसी को पता होगा, किसी को नहीं पता होगा, इसलिए I'm just giving the notes. Call option, put option, and futures. Write down call option, put option, and futures. In short, इसको derivatives क्यों बोलते हैं? Is it something d by dx of the school day? School नहीं, college में था ना derivatives, d by dx of x square. You remember? What is it? D by dx of x square. 2x. Okay. So basically, it is nothing to do with that mathematical derivatives. It is basically the word derivatives comes from derive. For example, okay, आज तो महाशिवरात्रि के वजह से शेयर मार्केट क्लोज था. Okay, but on Monday it had gone down. Yesterday it was more or less flat, but on Monday it had gone down. When on Monday the share market went down, put will gain or put has gain and call loses. तो जब शेयर मार्केट ऊपर जाता है उल्टा होता है, call gains, put loses. And when share price goes down, like what happened on Monday, put gains and the call loses. So basically call and put का value are derived by what is happening in the share market. Share market ऊपर, call gains, put loses. Share market नीचे, put gains, call loses. Okay, take a note of this quickly. When share market is up, call gains and put loses. And when share market is down, put gains and call loses. ये सारा आता है इन्वेस्टमेंट वाले ग्रुप. I'll repeat: shares, FDs, real estate, gold, derivatives. This all comes in the investment groups. This approximately comprises of around 50% of your syllabus. ये तो mention ये वाला part around 50% of the syllabus है in your 50%. A problem क्या है? Many things which are over here requires you to have some basic knowledge. Now, this course is being taken by a lot of students, like who are from very diverse background. And it's to bring them at par, they have introduced some basic subjects. Basic मतलब simple नहीं. वो basic subject को cover करने के लिए मुझे पहले कुछ basic foundation lectures आपको देने पड़ेंगे. Like if whoever is going to enroll, before you come for the classroom, you will be going through some foundation lectures. Those basic subjects are, number one, write down the next group of subject, basic subject. See, क्या होता है कि when economy is doing good, company does well, and because of that share price go up. But some company का share price थोड़ा सा up होता है, some company का share price drastically up होता है. ऐसा क्यों? Similarly, when economy is going through recession, companies do bad, share price goes down. But कुछ company का share price थोड़ा सा down होता है, कुछ company पूरी बर्बाद crash. ऐसा क्यों? Why is it different like that? Because of the products that they are making. Some companies make a product which is basically like necessity. Like for example, Bisleri, पानी necessity है. Tata tea, chai necessity है. Tata tea, chai necessity है. Okay. Sunfish biscuits necessity है. So from that perspective, अगर expansion है, मेरा salary बहुत बढ़ रहा है, I'm not going to eat more biscuits. I'm not going to eat more tea. I'm not going to eat more water. So from that perspective, sales बढ़ेगा, but not drastically बढ़ेगा. So share price will increase slightly. And similarly, when the recession हुआ, my salary is going down. Still I have to drink water. Still I have to drink tea. Still I have to eat the biscuit. So from that perspective, basically the companies which are making necessity products, उनका demand stable होता है, उनका sales and profit stable होता है. Expansion में वो थोड़े से ऊपर जाते हैं, and recession में वो थोड़े से नीचे जाते हैं. In expansion they slightly go up, and in recession they slightly come down. Okay, contrast this company to something like Tanishq, something like Tata Motors. Tanishq क्या बनाता है? Jewelry, which is obviously not a necessity. You will buy jewelry only if you have good income in your wallet. Okay, which is the case in expansion. In expansion, basically what happens is people get a good hike, and then they think about, okay, let me buy a jewelry, especially like the ladies section. The gent section would be like, okay, expansion, I'm getting a good salary, let me think about buying a car. So the Tata Motors do drastically well in expansion because the people, consumers, I have a good amount of money with them, and because of that, the demand for the cars increases. Tanishq does really good in expansion because their consumers, the women, will have a lot of salary during expansion, and because of that, the demand for the jewelry will increase. And hence Tanishq का share price expansion में ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, drastically ऊपर जाएगा. Same with Tata Motors. During expansion, Tata Motors will drastically rally, not just slightly increase. And similarly, recession में दोनों stock गिरेंगे नहीं, crash हो जाएंगे. Which is what थोड़ा बहुत Tata Motors में अभी हो रहा है. I'm not saying it's crash, 30% down from its peak. It's still not a crash. Tata Motors ने इससे बहुत खराब चीजें पहले देखी है. Those who are investors in Tata Motors, they will know what has been the worst of Tata Motors. Okay, but still it is crashing right now. It is significantly down because of little bit bad in the economy. अब पता कैसे चलेगा कि economy is doing good या economy is doing bad? Which numbers to find out? GDP growth rate कितना है? Not just GDP growth rate, you should have to also look for, because GDP में क्या होता है? GDP में सब कुछ आता है. As a share market investor, I also need to look at कि companies का profit क्या rate से grow हो रहा है. Nifty में जो 50 companies है, Sensex में जो 30 companies है, उनका year on year profit क्या rate से grow हो रहा है, which is called as India INC growth rate, मतलब companies का growth rate. तो ये सब कवर करने के लिए जीडीपी क्या है, इन्फ्लेशन क्या है, वी शुड नो अबाउट इट. सो द फर्स्ट बेसिक टॉपिक इज इकोनॉमिक्स. What are we going to cover? Just write down a quick point. GDP, GNP, gross domestic product, gross national product, inflation, expansion, recession, which is nothing but business cycle. They're nodding it because उनको अभी में I think हुआ होगा. ये था ना, business cycle, expansion, recession. Export import सुना है? Right now, trade. We're going to also cover the concepts of trade. Alright, next. बेसिकली अगर मैं शेयर्स मार्केट्स में 1 लाख रुपए इन्वेस्ट करता हूं और फर्स्ट ईयर मुझे 10% रिटर्न मिला, सेकेंड ईयर मुझे 20% रिटर्न मिला, तो व्हाट इज द टोटल रिटर्न दैट आई हैव गॉट? फर्स्ट ईयर आई गॉट 10% रिटर्न, सेकेंड ईयर आई गॉट 20% रिटर्न, सो व्हाट इज द टोटल रिटर्न आई हैव गॉट? इट्स नॉट 30. हाउ टू गेट दैट? यू अंडरस्टैंड माय क्वेश्चन, राइट? फर्स्ट ईयर ऑन 1 लाख आई गॉट 10% रिटर्न, second year I got 20% return, but not on 1 lakh. On 1 lakh 10,000. Let's see this. So t equal to 0 matlab at the start I had 1 lakh rupees, and in the year 1 I got कितना बोला? 10% बोला ना मैंने. So 10% return. So 1 lakh के ऊपर का 10% मतलब हो गया 10,000. So this will become 1 lakh 10,000. Clear? So this is the calculator which is required. 1 lakh into 10%. So that's 10,000 plus 1 lakh. That's 1 lakh 10,000. And now in the year 2, this was in the year 1. In the year 2, you got 20% return. So this 20% is on 1 lakh 10,000. So take the calculator again. 1 lakh 10,000 ke upar, you will do 20%. That is 22,000 plus 1 lakh 10,000. That is 1 lakh 32,000. So you started with 1 lakh and you are getting 1 lakh 32,000. The return is 32%. But 10 plus 20 तो 30 होता है. 32 कहां से आया? I want that word. Compounding. Which is in simple terms, return on return. So for that perspective, this word came out. School days में इसको बोलते थे CAGR, compounded annual growth rate. Remember the simple interest rate and compounded interest rate formulas? Can I delete this, right? Okay. So simple interest rate formula क्या था? P into N into R upon 100. And compound interest rate was P into 1 plus R raised to N. Okay, principal into 1 plus R raised to N. This was compounded interest rate and this was simple interest rate. We'll be covering this in detail in cons. Okay, so the second basic subject is cons. Write down this simple interest rate, compounded interest rate, and apart from this, we are also going to cover statistics. Arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, something called as median, mode is what we are going to cover in the statistics. मैं सिलेबस ज्यादा डिटेल में इसके लिए बता रहा हूं so that you should know कि okay ये है, do I like this or do I don't like this, especially you guys, so you should know कि what is there in the syllabus. We are also going to cover probability, but don't worry, it's not probability of head, tail, it's not probability of क्या बोलते हैं उसको, cards. This used to irritate me during my college days. मतलब cards वाला चीज मुझे नहीं आता था. Head, tail was easy. और क्या था? हाँ, डाइस। ये और इरिटेटिंग था। दो डाइस वाला स्टोरी तो और ज्यादा इरिटेटिंग था। सिंगल डाइस वाज फाइन, 1 to 6 वाले नंबर्स। इट्स नॉट वी आर नॉट गोना कवर दिस। I'll tell you why probability is required. See, when you invest into a stock, suppose करो stock है 100 रुपए का, I'm just giving an example. And you want to find out कि okay, एक साल के बाद what would be the share price after 1 year. तो you make like two scenarios कि number one is कि okay, सब कुछ अच्छा हुआ, if everything is good, economy is good, company is good, then the share price will reach to something like let's say 180, giving 80% return. But जरूरी नहीं कि everything would be good. Economy could crash also. Economy could have a recession also. So if economy turns out to be bad, the share price could go down to something like 40. So कितना return है ये? 40 minus 100 कितना है? Minus 60 upon 100, that's minus 60%. So if everything turns out to be good, we are going to get a return of 80%. And if everything turns out to be bad, we are going to get a return of minus 60%. And then comes the important point of probability. We'll be looking at what is the chance that the things will be good and what is the chance that the things will be bad. And that chance in English is probability in maths. So we'll be writing, oh, economy good होने का chance कितना है? Let's say good होने का chance है 70%, that is 0.7. And economy bad होने का chance कितना है? Simple. Good होने का chance 70% है तो bad होने का chance है 30%. And then we multiply this 80 into 0.7 matlab 56%, and minus 60 into 0.3, that is minus 18%, and 56 minus 80 into it, 56 minus 80. So return you can expect is around 38%. For such questions like this, we require probability. So probability must be not very great or something, it's like a chance. क्योंकि if economy turns out to be good, share price 100 का होगा 180, 80% का रिटर्न मिलेगा. But if economy turns out to be bad, 100 का होगा 40, the minus 60% का loss होगा. And then we should look at what is the chance of economy doing good and what is the chance that economy doing bad. And that is like 0.7 and 0.3. And then you multiply 80 by 0.7, 56, minus 60 by 0.3, minus 18, and you do that 56 minus 8. इसके लिए probability चाहिए. Clear? So don't get scared about the probability. It's not that difficult as compared to what I had seen and you guys also might have seen in your school days. So second basic subject, courts. Alright, third basic subject they wanted, and I agree with them, was law and tax. See, understand, as an investor, obviously you should know कि country में क्या allowed है, क्या legal है, क्या illegal है. Okay, so that was obviously one thing. And second thing is कि whatever returns that you get on your shares in the form of dividend, in the form of gain, उसके ऊपर tax कितना pay करना है. So logically, law and the tax was the subject. उसको क्रॉस करो, तुमने लिखा ना अभी है, क्रॉस करो क्योंकि सब्जेक्ट नहीं है. And the reason why this is not the subject is because this exam is not an Indian exam. This is not basically a Europol exam also. It's an American exam. So earlier they had kept American law and American tax. But then they realized, okay, this exam is not just being taken by Americans. This is being taken by Indians. This is taken by Chinese guys. This is taken by European guys. Why the hell they should know about American taxation and American laws? And as a reason, they scrapped this subject called as American laws and American tax, and they replace it by subject now which you're going to write ethics. Ethics सुन के लोगों के मन में स्माइल आता है, लड्डू फूटता है, क्योंकि ऐसे लगता है कि ethics is बहुत easy. जो मन में लगता है करना है वो नहीं करना होता है. Like रेड सिग्नल पे लगता है कि गाड़ी लोग कर दे, बट वो नहीं करना होता है. That is what is the reason why people think कि ethics insider trading. मतलब अगर मेरे पास कंपनी का insider information है, obviously मुझे लगेगा कि let me make a good trade. SEBI does not allow that. So basically students are like, oh, जो करना लगता है ना, जो करना है वही आंसर है, वो illegal unethical पड़ेगा, और ऐसा नहीं है. The problem is ethics is very grey. It's very, I would say it is one of the most toughest subject across all three levels. Although it feels, क्योंकि problem क्या होता है कॉलेज में जो ethics है उसमें the question which are asked are of a very low level of difficulty, and CFA में ethics के questions are very high level of difficulty. Okay, so ethics के लिए लिखने के लिए कुछ है नहीं. It like in short, it's unwritten rules. Unwritten rules. As I mentioned, the most tricky subject, I would say. Okay, these are the basic subjects. Now let's come to the basically अच्छा इसका वेटेज अप्रोक्सीमेटली अराउंड 30% है. जैसे मैंने बोला इन्वेस्टमेंट वाला 50% है, इसका 30% है. Yeah, 30%. Roughly I'm saying. Coming to the rest of the syllabus is basically on the application. The main application जो पहला वाला है कि when I told you कि okay these are the investment subjects, you were not there at that time. I was just mentioning shares. What's your name? What are the investment available? Shares, FDs, gold, derivatives, etc. Real estate. The clients, like investors, get completely confused कि इतने सारे investments हैं मैं कहाँ invest करूँ? So they need advice. They need an advisor. और they need a manager. दोनों सेम नहीं है. एडवाइजर एंड मैनेजर में डिफरेंस है. एडवाइजर क्या करेगा? एडवाइजर विल स्पीक टू द क्लाइंट, विल लिस्ट डाउन व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, क्यों पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है क्लाइंट. ओके, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम द क्लाइंट इन्वेस्ट फॉर रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग, ऑब्वियसली, क्योंकि रिटायरमेंट में सैलरी नहीं मिलने वाला है. सो फॉर दैट दे हैव टू डू रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग के लिए दे हैव टू मैनेज पोर्टफोलियो. Apart from that, those who do not have a rich parent, they will be also managing the portfolio for their marriage expenses, which is also considerably huge. If you have a rich parent, then parents should be taking care of your marriage expenses. But if your parents are not rich, then you might have to contribute or you might have to take entire marriage expense in your hand. So you might be managing portfolio for the marriage expenses. Next, if you are in joint family and you don't want to stay in joint family, after marriage you want to have your own home, then you will be planning you will be managing portfolio to buy home also. तो ये तीन most of the times common objectives होता है. Managing portfolio for retirement planning, managing portfolio for buying home, managing portfolio for marriage expense. उसके बाद लोगों को और होता है कि कार बाय करनी है, कार नहीं, BMW बाय करनी है, वो वाला ऑब्जेक्टिव, या फिर वर्ल्ड टूर करना है. ये थोड़े थोड़े एक्सेट्रा वाले ऑब्जेक्टिव होते हैं. एज अ एडवाइजर यू नीड टू टेल टू द क्लाइंट कि कितना रिटर्न मिल सकता है मार्केट में हर एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट से, एंड उससे विच आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आर पॉसिबल, which objectives are not possible, and you should tell that okay this should be your priority, this is your highest priority objective, so you should not compromise on this objective, and based on that you have to kind of advise to the client ki kahan pe and how much and where they should invest. That's the role of a portfolio advisor. Second क्या बोला मैंने? Portfolio manager. Portfolio manager is like you give me money and I will invest it on your behalf. That is portfolio manager. Example, fund manager, mutual fund. Okay, you invest and fund manager will, you just give the money and fund manager will invest on your behalf. That is fund manager. Clear? So write down application based portfolio advisory or portfolio advisor, and next one fund manager. Okay, next one financial consultant. That is next one financial consultant, but मैं यहाँ पे थोड़ा ग्लोबली मतलब थोड़ा सा वाइडर स्कोप में एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ. I'll explain what is covered in financial consultant. What do they do? They approach a company which is having a very good business model. They are having a good profits. However, still they are struggling. Business model अच्छा है, प्रॉफिट भी है, तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है? प्रॉब्लम इज कि उन्होंने इतना ज्यादा लोन लिया है कि इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट इज सो हाई that their good profit is still not good enough to pay the interest. This is called as basically financial risk. That when the loan was available, they took the loan thinking कि आगे जाके लोन नहीं मिला तो उन्होंने इतना सारा लोन लिया है as of now that despite their business model is good, despite their having a good profit, they do not have good enough profit to pay the interest. Yeah? So the financial consultant will come and will help them calculate कि debt level को कितना कम करना चाहिए. What is the optimal level of debt that the debt should be at? Debt का मतलब है loan. What is the optimal level of loan the company should be operating at? जहाँ पे basically the company would be able to easily pay the interest out of it. Okay, so that's a financial consultant right down. Just the one line in that rule. Determining optimal level of loan which company can sustain. determining optimal level of load which company can sustain. ये बाकी आपका बचा हुआ 20% सिलेबस, ये 20% ऑफ द सिलेबस, 50% सिलेबस, 30% सिलेबस, 20% ये रफ रेंज है, मतलब 60 35 5 ये भी हो सकता है। रफ में रेंज बना 50 30 20। 50 is for investment subjects, 30 is for basic subjects, eco, मैथ्स नहीं बोलूंगा मैं, कॉन्ट्स बोलूंगा, इको, कॉन्ट्स एंड इथिक्स, and then the 20 is basically for the application based subjects. I think you will know the structure of the exam, but still, just to be on the safer side, I'll just put it on the screen. That was the next heading, structure of the exam. So level 1 has 180 questions, MCQ, multiple choice question with 3 options. Option A, option B, option C, and you have to select the one which is right. Now you might like the next sentence that I say, no negative marking. So you can bluff. But I would say that this is bad for those people who genuinely prepare. एक एग्जाम्पल लेके बात करता हूँ. Let's say he had genuinely prepared, he did a lot of calculations and marked C as answer, and she bluffed the answer because there was no negative mark and she marked C, and answer was C. Both of them get 1 mark, but she get 1 mark like that, and he gets 1 mark after doing lots of calculations. That is the problem. अगर negative marks होता था, then she wouldn't have dared to mark C. She was like, oh, wrong हुआ तो तुक्का नहीं लगा तो I lose mark. Just because negative marks are not there, there is no kind of a fear. So that is why I believe negative marks should be there. But problem is what I believe is different story. Okay, what is the reality? There are no negative marks. Next is basically minimum passing score. We students generally ask me, sir, बताओ कितना passing के लिए चाहिए? Frankly, website में नहीं है ये data. I can say with the like whatever years of teaching I have done, it's around 120 to 125 के range में होता है minimum passing score. Score above this, you surely pass देगा. Around 68% के आसपास is minimum passing score. Roughly you can say 70% किया तो you will pass. This is level 1. Come to level 2. Level 1 में जो 180 questions थे, level 2 में होते हैं 88 questions. Why 88? Because they are going to put that in 22 case study. Case 1, case 2, case 3, and case 28. Sorry, case 22. Each case will be having some data followed by 4 questions. So 4 for case study 1, 4 for case study 2, dot 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 22, 4s are 88 questions. ऐसा क्यों, मतलब क्या ऐसा क्यों जरूरत थी? The reason is they wanted you to not be giving the data on the plate. जो लेवल में दिया था डेटा, उसके बाद क्वेश्चन. आपको डेटा ढूंढने की जरूरत है, क्वेश्चन के ऊपर उसका डेटा है. But in real life, suppose I ask करके calculate करो, Bank of Baroda you're working, no? Current, let's say I ask her to calculate something called as basically statutory liquidity ratio, SLR, for Bank of Baroda. Then no one will give her the, for example, let's say current ratio calculate करूंगा. Suppose मैं calculate करना है Tata Motors का. तो जिनको current ratio नहीं पता, I'll just tell a simple formula. It's current asset upon current liability. CA, current asset upon CL, current liability. बट ये करंट एसेट का फिगर मुझे डायरेक्टली नहीं मिलेगा. आई हैव टू ओपन द एनुअल रिपोर्ट ऑफ टाटा मोटर्स, गो टू द बैलेंस शीट, ओपन द बैलेंस शीट एंड उसमें मुझे करंट एसेट मिलेगा, एंड ऑन द लायबिलिटी साइड आई विल गेट करंट लायबिलिटी. इन शॉर्ट, नो वन विल गिव अस अ डेटा रेडीमेड. We need to search for the data in the practical life, and that is what is being kind of focused in the level 2. लेवल में डेटा डायरेक्टली दिया जाता था, लेवल 2 में आपको केस स्टडी में डेटा ढूंढना है. यू हैव टू सर्च फॉर द डेटा इन द केस स्टडी. क्लियर? Minimum passing score is around 58 to 60 marks, okay, out of 88, say 68%. So if I talk about the marks, this is where the level 2 ka minimum passing score is there, 58 to 60 out of 88. Level 3, also has similar kind of 88 questions, but थोड़ा सा twist किया उन्होंने. Case study format रखा है. Level 3 also has a case study format, but half of the questions will be similar to level 2. मतलब 3 options, multiple choice, no negative markings. See, 44 questions will be similar format वाले questions, and the remaining 44 questions will be subjective. Subjective मतलब ये नहीं write about India's inflation, not like that. They will give you a question जो आपने starting में mention किया था कि between young guy and retired guy, who would prefer to invest in shares? Between young guy and a retired guy, who would prefer to invest in shares? Level 1 and level 2 will simply ask you, young guy will prefer shares, old guy will prefer shares, none of the above. No explanation required. You have to just mention, oh, young guy, high risk taking capacity, so they prefer to invest into shares. Just select the right option and move on to the next question. Is level 1 and level 2. In level 3, half of the question will be subjective. तो अगर ये question subjective है, तो मुझे explain करना है why. Why young guys have higher risk-taking capacity, because of which they prefer to invest in the shares. For example, एक point आपके mind में आया होगा, long time horizon. Okay, so they have a long time horizon, which means कि अगर loss हुआ, तो loss को recover करने के लिए they have a lot of time. Second, they are young, they have Saturday, Sunday. So अगर loss हुआ, they can work on Saturday, Sunday by doing some part-time work, and with that they can recover the losses. Which obviously a retired 65, 70 years guy cannot work on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so from that perspective, longer time horizon, ability to work on Saturday, Sunday, this means that they have the ability to recover from the loss faster, and that's the reason their risk-taking capacity is higher, and hence they prefer to invest in shares. ये लिखा तो ही पूरे मार्क्स मिलेंगे in level 3. Level 3 is testing, because it's a final level. They are testing whether you should actually become an analyst or not. And इसके लिए subjective questions is going to test your analytical like reasoning. क्योंकि ऐसा लग सकता है कि level 1, level 2 तुक्का मार के पास हो गए, क्योंकि no negative markings है. So level 3 is where they're going to check whether your actual thinking process is rational or irrational वाला. Clear? Coming to the exam calendar, I think everyone would be knowing this, but for me, I'll just mention. Level 1 happens in February, May, August, and November. Level 2 generally happens in May, August, and sometimes happens in the November also. And level 3 happens in February and August. Coming to the level 1, obviously. Like students ask me, sir, कब course खत्म कर पाऊंगा? If you look at level 1, 2025, May possible ही नहीं है, सोचो भी मत. August भी possible नहीं है, सोचो मत. Earliest I can think about is November 25 for level 1. Okay, or Feb 26. ये possible है, November 25 possible है, Feb 26 obviously possible है. Level 2, if I go for level 1 November 25, then level 2 August 26 is possible. यहाँ पे if I go with Feb 26, then November 26. And level 3, as I said, it's happening in February and August only. So in either of the cases, it will be in August 27. Okay, so this is what the course will get over. But as I mean, मैंने पहले नहीं बोला इसके बारे में, but you should not think, oh, it takes so long to clear level 3. You should be looking at each level, because each of the level has a good value on the resume. कि level 1 पास करने के बाद भी you get a good job opportunities. Which one? I'll explain. Level 2 के बाद the job opportunity becomes much more deeper. Package also increases. Again, which one I'll explain. And level 3 के बाद also the job opportunity increases, which I'll explain. So look at each level separately and do not look at कि course कब complete हो रहा है. Is it clear? Coming to the fees, यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा change हो रहा है fees पे. Just go to the site only, that will be better. Okay, so we just select the dates that you will get an idea. So level 1, we look for November 25. So it is 990 and 350. Okay, add it 990 and 350. I'll just add it 990 and 350. Dollars obviously, rupees nahi hai, unfortunately. 990 and 350. So 990 plus 350. $1340 and GST, 18% on that. So if I go with level 1 November, it's $1340, $350 plus $990. And if I go with level 1 February, then $350 is no longer applicable. They are cancelling this from the level 1 February 2026. This is not going to be there. अभी उनके साइट पे आया नहीं, I was just checking for it, but they have made it clear in one of the articles which I will share the thing. यहाँ पे अभी आया नहीं level Feb 26 का. So when they open, the 350 will not be there, but this has been increased by $150. So this becomes $1140. So together 0 plus 1180 is 1140. So वैसे $200 will be cheaper. 11 Feb 26 will be $200 cheaper. Level 2 and level 3 will be having $1140 as fees. Okay, so if you go with level of November, you have to pay that $200 extra, unfortunately. Now many students have written to the CFA Institute ki matlab, why will we take November then? We'll take February. So it might happen that CFA Institute may give us some kind of relief in level 2 fees, because level November guys are paying $200 extra fees. So might be level 2 1140 could become 940, but I do not know about it. Okay, so if you're going in November 25, as of now, consider you are going to pay $200 extra. Samjha? Next discussion. Time कितना लगेगा sir prepare करने के लिए? Rajaram, how much time does it take to prepare? Generally, be it college graduate, the people who are doing the graduation, or people who are working, they most of the time, like working professionals feels कि college वालों के पास बहुत सारा time होता है, but उनके पास एक time killer होता है, which is Instagram. वो जनरली वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स के पास इंस्टाग्राम को जाने के लिए टाइम ही नहीं होता. So I would rate that both of them are having the equal time to study. Like college guys have a little more time to study, although they say sir assignments hai, sir project hai, etc. कुछ होता नहीं है. They have a lot of time to study compared to the working professionals. But it has been seen that they kill a lot of time. So I need to actually motivate them कि पढ़ो, I'll make a test so that they get a motivation to study. Okay, working professional के पास actually time कम होता है. So generally, like working professionals say कि okay, I'll study 6 hours a day. नहीं होता. Okay, so in general, if you allocate approximately 2.5 hours on a daily basis, you would. No, what's your name? Okay, yes, it's came from office. So he will. This is your normal time to come. I was just talking about that working professionals do not get a lot of time to study. So what I would generally ask working professional is कि सुबह office के पहले, this is the most of the time you are going to be highest productivity. After you come back home, it will be difficult for you to take out the time and study. So either like if you are like office के बाद करना है पढ़ाई, तो office में रुक के करो, or go to a library. Okay, like यहाँ पे ऊपर एक there is a library, so go to library and study. Do not go home. If you're working professional, you will not get time to study. If you're married, so 100% will not get time to study. Okay, so after home, I'm saying. Okay, I have a daughter, I have a wife, so I know it is not going to be possible to study if you are married. So try to go to library or stay back in the office and study. Or best time would be get up early in the morning and try to study early in the morning for 2 hours at least on the weekdays, and weekends you have to cover it up. Again, do not study from home. Go to library and study. Weekly 20 to 25 hours is what I expect of self-study. Class का time पकड़ के नहीं बोल रहा. Self-study time 20 to 25 hours of self-study time for around 8 to 9 months. Don't think I have recorded yet, so I'll be sharing the record. Jen, right? I have recorded, so I'll share the recording with you. I repeat, 8 to 9 months. It is gonna take a lot of time. Okay, because the course curriculum is huge. Up next question is students generally when they take admission in my class or inquiry, sir syllabus कब खत्म होगा? Logic क्या है इसका? Like students ask this because उसके बाद I will do a revision. उसके बाद properly I'll take a mock exam. Doesn't work. Understand? What happens is syllabus मुझे पढ़ाने को ही 6 महीना लगने वाला है because it takes a lot of time because it's a lot of depth and it requires a lot of practice. So it will take 6 months to 6.5 months to cover the syllabus. Suppose it's gonna start in March. Your batch probably will start in March. So March में चालू होगा March, April, May, June, July, August, September mid या September end तक syllabus खत्म होगा approximately. उसके बाद if you start revision जो मैंने April में किया है वो आप जून जुलाई तक start forgetting. It's a human tendency. 6 महीने पहले क्या किया था obviously याद नहीं रहेगा. So what you have to do is you have to parallelly revise. Whatever I covered in March, उसको अक्टूबर में नहीं उसको जून में रिवाइज करना है. What I covered in April, revise that in July. During the weekdays, you have to do 2 things. Number one, whatever I've taught you on the weekend, you have to do question bank solving. Obviously, reading, घर पे जाके read करना है whatever I've taught. And second thing that you have to do is you have to solve question banks, which is practice element, which is generally missing in the case of college exams. College exam में क्या होता है कि most of them are subjective, so you have to just read, remember, write, and done. Here you'll be asked questions MCQs based. So your understanding would be tested. So you have to do a practice. So जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि weekly you have to put that 20-25 hours. Half of that time you will be spending in practicing question bank and taking the test, weekly test. You will be taking so many tests and you will be doing so many question bank ना कि last में आपको याद ही नहीं होगा कि ये question मैंने किया है. Because you will be doing so many questions. So what is important is whatever questions are going wrong, उसका एक separate calendar या फिर separate एक diary बनाओ, so that in the month of October you will do the second revision by focusing on those questions which went wrong in the first revision. मैं first revision क्यों बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि suppose I do equity in March, then I will revise equity in June, July. So at that time I will look at वो ये सारे question wrong हुए and then I will revise them in the month of around October. From the class side, March से लेके approximately September तक, I will do chapter test and I will do 2 subject test. Okay, each subject के ऊपर I will do 2 subject test. So every chapter के ऊपर 1 chapter test and then every subject के ऊपर 2 subject test in the month of March to September. And in the month of October, there will be 2 more subject tests on each subject. So on each subject, we'll be having total of 4 tests, 2 during the time of classes, March to September, and 2 during the month of October. And then in the month of November, we'll be having 10 mocks. In the classroom, we'll be taking 10 mocks. Okay, 5 over here in the classroom, 5 at home. Here. So 5 plus 5 mock exams in the classroom in the month of November. October में subject test and then March से लेके September में you're doing the chapter test as well as 2 subject tests. Problem ये है कि इतना सारा टेस्ट होगा, इतना सारा होगा कि वही बोला कि ये क्वेश्चन मैंने किया था क्या, ये वाला क्वेश्चन आया, तो अगर राइट आंसर है तो इग्नोर इट. अगर एक बार राइट आया, your concept is clear, तो if I ask you again, you will get it. But अगर हाँ फ्लूक से राइट आया, if you got it right by fluke, तो take a note of that कि ये फ्लूक से राइट आया. Wrong आया था, 100% take a note of that because you need to revise those concepts again. Clear? Now comes to the main more important point कि jobs, which kind of jobs we get, right? Of the jobs that we get after clearing CFA level 1, level 2, level 3. Thank you. So basically, 2 jobs के बारे में I already discussed about it. One is credit analyst, rating analyst, whatever, and second one is the research analyst or the financial research analyst. जो role हमने किया था. These are the main roles. Apart from that, you also get the roles in corporate banking. Apart from that, investment banking. So you get the roles in this also. But let's break down into the 3 kind of main roles that are there in any corporate, be it research analyst, be it rating analyst, be it investment banking, or be it basically the corporate banking. First kind of would be something called as back office. Okay. Back office मतलब खराब काम नहीं. Back office का मतलब होता है basically getting the data ready, which is what you're doing. The getting the data ready for basically the mid office team to do analysis. For example, जो मैंने बोला कि I am a rating analyst, I need to look at the ratios, I need to calculate the ratios. तो ratios calculate करने के लिए एक financial model बनाना होता है. Making of financial model is a job of mid office, but putting the data in the financial model is a job of a back office. Here, level 1 guys are generally getting work now in the back office roles. Okay, take a note. Back office is about data collection, basic data analysis. Packages in this role are approximately starting with 3.5 lakh per annum and goes up to 6 lakhs per annum. 3.5 to 6 lakhs per annum. Skills क्या चाहिए यहाँ पे? Obviously you should know level 1 तो होना चाहिए यहाँ पे. So CFA level 1 and apart from that you should be good at using Excel. Financial modeling की जरूरत नहीं है, but basic Excel आना चाहिए. Pivot tables क्या होता है वो आना चाहिए. Little bit of goal seek आना चाहिए. थोड़ा सा charts making आना चाहिए. That is it. Okay. Second would be the role of mid office where you will be required to clear level 2. So let us for mid office level 2. And you need to know the financial modeling. Properly you should know कि कंपनी का sales forecast कैसे करते हैं. What is top down forecasting? What is bottom up forecasting? What is nominal forecasting? What is real forecasting, etc. So you should know the financial modeling in and out apart from clearing CFA level 2 because you'll be making financial models when you're working as a mid office. जो मैंने बोला कि कौन से ratios के ऊपर focus होना चाहिए. Why current ratio is more important? Debt to equity ratio is less important. Why ROE, return on equity is more important. Why? ये why वाला part back office में नहीं होता, mid office में होता. In the mid office, you will be actually making the decision. The rating is more dependent on profitability ratios or the rating is more dependent on liquidity ratios. That call will be taking in the mid office. जो मैंने बोला research वाला जो रोल था कि 5 साल के बाद the share price of Tata Motors जो अभी around 600-650 के रेंज में है, after 5 years will it be 3000 या 300. इसके लिए क्या मॉडल में assumptions करना है? That assumptions the mid office guy will be making, not the back office guy. Back office guy will make the data in the whatever format is available, formatting, research करके data will be given. And वो data के ऊपर जो call लेना है कि क्या assumptions होगा, what is the business model, what is the growth story going to be. Tata Motors ने एक नया car launch किया है. Forgot the name of that. They're claiming that will be a competition to Tesla in India, which is a big claim. Forgot the name of that electric Avanya. So will Avanya का data collection जो है अवन्या का जो 25 लाख के रेंज में like saying which is a big thing अगर इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल 25 लाख में SUV, so it is a big claim. So basically अवन्या का जो डेटा जो लाना है कि what is from where they are sourcing the raw material etc. ये डेटा कलेक्शन का बैक ऑफिस करेगा. And उसके बाद you will take a call कि okay, will Avanya be a game changer or will Avanya would be any other kind of a car जिससे शेयर प्राइस ऊपर जाएगा या क्रैश होगा. This is what you will decide in the financial modeling as a mid office guy. If you clear level 2, like after you clear level 2. Next role is front office role. That is next role, front office role. फ्रंट ऑफिस में लेवल 3 के साथ साथ और कुछ लगेगा. राइट डाउन लेवल 3 प्लस समथिंग. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड कि फ्रंट ऑफिस में होता क्या है. फ्रंट ऑफिस में यू वुड बी अ टीम लीडर. Your role is basically to first get client. Your client मतलब वो नहीं है वो टेलीफोन करके वो नहीं, वो client नहीं. You have to get the corporate clients. आपको कंपनी के पास जाके आपके सर्विसेज को पिच करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम क्रिसिल, तो आई नीड टू गो टू द कंपनी एंड टेल देम कि आई कैन एनालाइज योर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स एंड गिव यू अ रेटिंग मच फास्टर एंड एट मच बेटर एफिशिएंसी एज कंपेयर टू केयर एंड इकरा. केयर एंड इकरा पता है ना, अदर रेटिंग एजेंसीज. Okay, so basically my role is to convince the companies सॉरी एक्चुअली बैंक्स के पास जाके मुझे कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा कि आप जिसको लोन देने वाले हो, टू whoever you are going to give the loan, please give us the rating assignment because we will be able to do a better rating, we'll be able to do a faster rating as compared to the other rating agencies. For this, I need to be having a very good experience and good soft skills. Okay, उसके बाद असाइनमेंट मिला, उसके बाद I will need to allocate to my team members and get it done from them. Okay, I will not be an executor. I will be an assigner. I will not be doing the job. I'll be getting the job done. But I'll be responsible for everything. अगर delay हो गया तो I'll be responsible. He is my team member. So उसने जो काम किया है, I need to understand that work and I need to correct it wherever he is going wrong. I won't be doing it. I will be getting it done. It requires main team coordination, basically a kind of a proper managerial kind of responsibility. So apart from the CFA level 3, you will require a good experience or you will require a MBA from a tier 1 institute. Not Somya Velinkar, IES, MAT, IIMs or nothing. Either do it from IIMs or do it like nothing. If you are cleared level 2 के बाद अगर MBA करना है, तो you should do it from IIMs or you should not do it. क्यों बताता हूं. पैकेजेस लेवल 1 के बाद का पैकेज मैंने बोला 3.5 lakh to 6 lakhs. लेवल 2 का पैकेज is approximately starting with 6 lakhs and it goes up to around 8 to 9 lakhs. यही पे प्रॉब्लम है. अगर आफ्टर लेवल 2 यू आर एट अराउंड 7.58 लाख, तो एमबीए आईएएस का, एमईटी का, एसआईएस का डजंट मेक सेंस बिकॉज इनके एवरेज पैकेजेस में, ब्रोशर की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, रियलिटी की बात कर रहा हूं, एवरेज पैकेजेस आर लेस देन 10 lakh. So what is the point of spending so huge money and 2 years to get these packages if you are cleared level 2 and you are earning already 7.58 lakhs? Okay, so over here I would say complete like level 2 and after that you see कि what is your potential in CAT, कि आप CAT में कितना कर सकते हो. If you could get 97, 98 percentile, 100%, level 3 को थोड़े टाइम के लिए बाजू में रखो and focus on CAT and try to get into IIMs. When I say IIMs, old IIMs था, वो जो नए वाले IIMs है, रायपुर वो सब नहीं, वो old पुराने वाले IIMs, या फिर मुंबई की बात करो, NM IMS, Jamnalal Bajaj, ये सारे colleges. Where after graduating, after doing an MBA, your package should be at 25 lakh. After अगर आप level 2 करके MBA कर रहे हो, आपका पैकेज ऑलरेडी 8 लाख है, you're spending around 20 lakh rupees in MBA, your package should be at least 25 lakh, which NMIMS, which JB will give you, which IIMs will give you, which IES, Somaya will not give. Velinkar also will not give. अंडरग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स, तुम लोग तो बहुत ही अंडरग्रेजुएट हो. पहले मैं बाकी लोगों से बात कर रहा हूं. Eligibility criteria is that you can start studying the CFA level 1 when you are in your first year of your college minimum. इसके बाद भी चलेगा obviously. So after clearing 12th, when you are in your college first year of college, you can start studying CFA level 1, but you can take the exam when you reach second year. At the time of level 1, you should be in the second year of your college. Okay, for level 2, at the time of taking exam, you should be in the final year. You can start studying level 2 in your second year of your college, but while taking the exam, you should be in the final year. And similarly, level 3 can be taken only after you graduate. So is it clear? So right now you can do nothing. Okay, so right now you finalize ki CA karna hai, ACCA karna hai, CFA karna hai, you gather all the knowledge about it. And if you decide to finalize CFA, then after your 12th standard gets over, then you start studying CFA level 1 and then you can take the exam when your first year gets over. So when is your 12th? Matlab 2026 is your 12th, right? So after your 12th, you can start studying and you can take the exam when you reach second year. That is, you can take the exam in August of 27. Clear? Okay. So I was mentioning about the college students. So those who are in like first year or second year of college right now, सबसे पहले figure out करो कि CFA करना है या कुछ और करना है. And please do not consider कि CA tough है तो मैं CFA करता हूँ या करती हूँ. Okay, CA अगर tough लगता है, for example, if I am an account student, मुझे tally के बिना मेरा दिन जाता नहीं है. I like bookkeeping a lot. I like tally a lot. Don't look at CFA. If you find CA tough, then there is ACCA. I don't teach that, but I'm saying there's a ACCA, which is a relatively easier option as compared to the CA. So if you like tax, if you like audit, if you like accounts, don't do CFA. There are CA ke other courses also which are there are accounting ke other courses apart from CA which you can easily manage. Come to CFA if you like finance. Matlab, all the things that we have written till now: shares, FDs, commodities, real estate, derivatives, rating agencies, something like we'll cover beta, something like market risk premium, CAPM, macroeconomy, GDP growth rate. If you like this, then you should do CFA. In simple terms, अगर आपको Excel अच्छा लगता है, you like CFA. अगर आपको Tally अच्छा लगता है, you are accounting student. Clear? Basics of that. So if you realize that, oh, I am not an accounting person, I'm a finance person, I want to do CFA, then in the first year you start studying, first or second year you start studying, I will say first year, you start studying, take the exam of level 1 when you are in second year. In second year, you start studying level 2 and take the exam of level 2 when you're in final year and don't immediately take level 3. After that, you start working, get a 1 or 2 years of experience, and after that, go for a CAT. During that period, if you want, you can get the level 3 done. But prepare for CAT or entrance exam and see if you can get that 95 percentile plus, where you could stand a good chance into getting into IIMs. Clear? I know this is not applicable for two of you who are working professionals, but in general, I'm saying this is for the college graduate student. Okay. Coming to working professionals. So working professional के case में a time challenge होता है. Second, I'm starting after a long time, which I guess you mentioned, or I'm starting after a long time, so it is fine. ये जो initial resistance होगा starting after a long time, ये होता है, ये सबको होता है. But once you get into rhythm, you'll be able to manage it. As I said, you need to find out a proper time for you when you're going to study, which I believe is the morning time or after office, but in library. Once you get into rhythm, first 2-3 days will be challenging, but once you get into rhythm, it's going to be easily possible for you guys, provided you get that 8 proper months, you go 8 proper months. Actually, I've seen that the working professionals are more serious as compared to the college graduates, and as a reason, their success ratio has been much higher as compared to college graduates. इनके पास टाइम बहुत होता है, but टाइम किल करने के लिए उनके पास बहुत ज्यादा रिसोर्सेस होते हैं. So, as a working professional, I've seen the seriousness is much better, and as a reason, the success ratios have been much better. But yes, time challenges have been there. उनको leaves काफी अच्छा मिलता है. You will not get 2 weeks leaves for the final exam. मतलब मिला तो good. 2 weeks से ज्यादा mostly मिलता. They get a lot of leaves. Apart from that, I don't see much kind of a difference between understanding. ऐसा नहीं कि college graduates will be understanding faster than you. You'll be able to understand at the same speed or even sometimes at a faster speed because of the experience that you guys are having. Challenge will be in terms of time. If that is managed, it is possible to give this exam. For those who are working into the support finance role, I think you're working right into support finance role. You are doing an internship right now, and you are doing a support finance role where basically I'm data analyst right now, or I am into back office, or I'm into technical role right now, and I want to switch to finance side. If this is the target, then yes, CFA is going to help you out. Okay, level 1, level 2, level 3 is going to be helping you out. If the target is currently I'm not in the finance role, but I want to shift to the finance role, CFA will help you out. Secondly, if, as I said, I'm into the finance role, but I'm not able to understand the things because there are a lot of complicated things that I'm not able to understand it. In that case, do not directly do CFA level 1. Get some NISM kind of a easier courses done initially, and then get into the CFA level 1. This is for those guys who are already into finance field, but they're not able to like do great job at work because they are not able to understand key terms क्या है ये. मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ कि level 1 होने को 8-9 महीना लगे, and in this 8-9 months in the job role you cannot struggle. So you need a little shorter course like NISM and CFM kind of a course, which will give you a little bit, not depth one, but at least brief idea of what is happening in the stock markets, how to look at bid-ask spread, etc. So do NISM and CFM if you are already working in the finance field. Do not do NISM and CFM if you are outside finance, क्योंकि NISM and CFM का ज़्यादा कुछ ऐसा great value नहीं है. If you are not able to do CFA level 1 for XYZ reason, fees ज़्यादा है, इतना time नहीं है, then do NISM and CFM. But if you're doing CFA level 1, NISM and CFM, there is no need. Okay. So I guess I covered most of the points which I wanted to, and I took from you guys. I'm open to general questions about careers in finance, including CFA. After this discussion gets over, I don't want to speak about the classes. Generally, JB will be like getting in touch with you, but she's on a leave. Like my student coordinator, she's on the leave. So that's the reason. Like either I will send you the class details. Like those who are interested, I'll send you the class details. Like what are the timings, etc., what are the fees, etc. That my team members generally send it, but I will send it to you tomorrow. Those who are interested. What I would do is like एक जो करना था वो अभी टाइम नहीं है. Basic finance test. I will send it to you guys. Just ping me after the lecture. I'll send you the basic finance test and I'll give some basic videos of economics, basic videos of accounts, and basic videos of maths. And after each video, I'll be giving you a test so that you know, okay, itna score aaya mera. So I'm not saying these are CFA questions, but it's a basic, maybe a step below CFA questions. So that you'll get an understanding of, okay, will I be able to do it? While I feel you will be able to get it. Okay, so start showing your questions to me one by one about general questions. And maybe if it is like specific to you, very, very specific, we'll discuss it later on. But you ask your question and then I'll decide whether it is specific to you or whether others will be interested so that I'll decide by myself. So any questions, just shoot out to me. We have around 54 minutes of time. तुम लेट आए थे तो तुम्हें कुछ क्वेश्चन का तो पहले पूछो. अब तक जो हुआ था रिकॉर्डिंग I'll send it to you. मैंने क्या पढ़ा ये हाँ नहीं पूछा ना क्या टॉपिक के ऊपर पढ़ा ना you had asked me someone had asked me about it. I was covering a lot of topics. I was just covering कि एक टॉपिक के अंदर क्या क्या है. I was covering those topics. So I'll send you the video recording of that. Anything that you want to ask me about कि सर मैं ये करूँ ये नहीं करूँ. You I think ask about FRM, right? Yeah. Someone asked about FRM. FRM I would not recommend in general to specific you. Yeah. Whether it's there or not, I'll tell you in specific. General I'll not recommend FRM because FRM is a very risk management is a very niche part of the finance world. So as a general finance guy, why you should do a very niche course? If you're working in the risk side and then you want to like make risk as your career, then do FRM. But it's like MD in let's say orthopedics and CFA is like MBBS. So obviously first you should do CFA. After that, if you are working on the risk side and you want to make a career over there, then you do the FRM. So it's a very kind of a focus course, not a general finance course. I will not advise in general. One reason. Second reason is that the course is offered by GARP, Global Association of Risk Professional, and that is not having that much of recognition as compared to CFA Society. So CFA Society has a much more broader recognition as compared to GARP, and in India में उसका इतना recognition भी नहीं है. Okay. Second, ESG के बारे में लोग people ask me. ESG is environmental, social, governance वाला चीज which is getting importance in India, but फिर भी CFA जो main वाला है उसके आसपास भी नहीं है. So right now, do not go with ESG kind of a courses. Either CFA या फिर short term like NISM etc. Yep. पूछो कुछ question है mind में ask me. Yep. कुछ पूछना है? सब clear हो गया? Yeah. तो पूछो ना. What are the things which I believe, which you believe कि मैंने नहीं cover किया? तो ask me.
Different like this equity research and job like for fund management, different and all.
As I said, level 1 will be like it will not give you a direct kind of financial modeling roles. So level will give you entry level roles, and then level 2 is, by the way, sell side research and buy side research. ये word लिखो. Sell side analyst and buy side analyst. The important word sell side analyst and buy side analyst. मैं research करके मेरा research website पे डाल दूंगा, and others will read on that, and others will use that report. I am a sell side analyst. समझा? Yeah. So I'll do analysis. I'll publish the analysis on my X or on my Instagram. Obviously, कोई नहीं करेगा. In the financial newspaper, etc. In that case, others will use it and others will trade on it. So this is case of sell side analyst. Second case, I do a research and then my own money I would invest based on that research. I am a buy side analyst. Okay, so buy side analysts are basically mutual funds. They do research and they invest their own money. And sell side analysts are India Infoline, Motilal Oswal, brokerage companies जो रिसर्च करके क्लाइंट्स को रिकमेंडेशन भेजते हैं एसएमएस से व्हाट्सएप से एक्सेट्रा. Okay, so sell side analyst is kachra. It's absolutely very bad quality of research being done in the sell side analyst. But unfortunately, to go into buy side analyst, वहाँ पे genuine research है. You have to go via sell side. You have to be there in the sell side analyst for at least 1 to 2 years. Be the top in that, and then you will be able to get into buy side analyst, where the real good analysis is, where you will have a discussion
for 1 or 2 years in the sales side, then go to the buy side.
The thing is that when you
like the sales side, right?
so the problem with the sell side analysis is that there are so many guys and they do it average P ratio, average price to book value ratio. They do not go into the depth at all. They do not do fundamental valuation at all. Most of the sell side analysts do a relative valuation and studio work. Actual crux is in the fundamental valuation. They don't do it. So first work in sell side analyst for 1 2 years, get a kind of a good recognition, and then move to the buy side where you'll be able to talk to the management, get into the management discussion, ask the question directly to the management, and then you'll be able to go to make money. Because you are helping basically your company to directly invest and not your clients to invest. So in that case, client ke case mein company will not pay you much. But when company is investing their own money, they will pay a huge amount to the buy side analyst. Okay. Curriculum के ऊपर कुछ questions है for you guys. You got a clarity between CA and CFA. समझा clarity? CA is accounting, taxation, law and finance, and CFA is only finance. Clear? मतलब अगर बेसिकली मुझे टैक्स अच्छा लगता है, आई शुड डू सीए. सीएफए में टैक्स का ज्यादा कुछ है नहीं. You can manage CFA. See, as a guys, silent please. This is a very common question, sir. मुझे guys, silent please. I hate maths. मैंने 11th 12th में maths नहीं लिया है. Will I be able to manage CFA very well? I don't know. I think you guys were maybe not there. I showed a financial calculator. Were you there? So there's a financial calculator which is very easy to use, and it will help you to make your ये ज्यादा बोलूंगा मैं मैथ्स अ फ्रेंड ये ज्यादा हो गया but it will help you to kind of easily manage. You cannot be number hater. I mean, you have to like the numbers to become financial analyst. You will see a lot of numbers, be it GDP growth rate, be it inflation rate, be it sales growth rate. You might be maths hater from the perspective of geometry. बाद में वो इंटीग्रेशन, डी बाई डी एक्स, लिमिट्स, मैट्राइसेस, ये सब हेट चलेगा. बट यू शुड नॉट बी अ नंबर हेटर. इफ यू आर ओके विथ नंबर्स, simple interest rate, compounded interest rate, you'll be able to easily manage CF. You don't need a hardcore kind of a mathematics lover to become a financial analyst, but you cannot be a number hater and a good financial analyst. As long as you are able to manage with the numbers, if numbers don't scare you, financial analyst will be able to help you out and you'll be able to manage CF. Good question. मतलब, if I am not a maths kind of a person, will I be able to manage CFA level 1, level 2 and level 3? Yes, as long as you are a number lover. As long as you like कि GDP इंडिया का कितना है, बजट डेफिसिट इंडिया का कितना है. If you are liking the numbers, you'll be able to manage CFA. Sorry.
Some degrees you can suggest after 12 basically, but that doesn't need math.
That
doesn't need math.
That doesn't need maths.
I mean, 12 next week.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. If you like finance now, then you should go with BFA, Bachelor's in Financial Markets. या फिर basically the BSc with finance, which like you guys are doing, or BMS with finance. Preferred would be BFM or BMS with finance or BSc with finance. But BSc with finance, I would not recommend. थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा इसमें होगा, but BFM or BMS in finance or BAF. Any other question? पक्का सब कुछ क्लियर है? Okay. I can't believe सब कुछ मैंने कवर कर दिया. Okay, good.